Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC News Break. The Barbadian diet has been labeled as unhealthy, and the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, wants Barbadians to move away from processed foods and refined sugar. Dr. Godfrey Shreb, the Caribbean Program Coordinator with PAHO WHO, says the trend must be reversed so the country can be productive and move forward. According to the International Public Health Agency, 84% of total deaths in Barbados are attributed to chronic non-communicable diseases, including diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Dr. Shreb says what's more startling is that there is a 14% probability of dying from these diseases between the ages of 30 and 70.
This means that 14 out of every 100 of the productive adults in Barbados will not see their 70th birthday. This is an alarming statistic and is the consequence of our behaviors and our environment. We need to reverse this trend if we want to see Barbados remain productive and move forward in its development.
An estimated 40,000 patient visits are recorded by the Accident and Emergency Department of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital each year. Head of the A&E, Dr. Shani Williams, says of that number, 25% are admitted. She was among the panelists at the latest town hall meeting on healthcare financing at the Christchurch Parish Church Centre.
All resources are required to resuscitate these persons, which can consume all man-made manpower as well as supply resources for 2 hours per person at a time. So along with the non-urgent cases that were mentioned that come to the emergency department, the spectrum is the non-urgent, the genuine emergencies, those contribute to the overcrowding in our department.
Minister of Health John Boyce says Barbadians are adhering to calls to take charge of their lives and are adopting healthy lifestyles. He says there is an understanding of the values of healthy eating and avoiding the wanton consumption of junk food and alcohol, among other bad habits.
The ministry recognized that this is not an overnight exercise. This is an investment in the people of Barbados. And we believe that over time, as we continue to build this message, we will be able to reap tremendous results and so reduce that cost of caring for non-communicable diseases among our elderly population, and indeed in some cases and increasingly our not so elderly population.
Barbadians affected by layoffs in recent years are being encouraged to consider entrepreneurship as a path to self-sufficiency and self-pride. The most recent suggestion comes from the Barbados Association of Office Professionals, BAOP, I beg your pardon. Publicity chairperson Karen Carter says the unemployed and youth will be a major focus at the association's upcoming conference.
For so many of especially young people today, they are looking for things to do. And, you know, I have been hearing for the last year, everybody's talking about entrepreneurship. And I've realized that whether we've been forced or whether we have the raw talent or we have many abilities, we are in this mindset of having our own businesses. And in having your own business, it is something that I think should be, you know, a proud achievement.
The BAOP is hosting its 19th annual conference at the Hilton Barbados Resort this coming Thursday and Friday. Ms. Carter says it is open to all Barbadians and will help the public consider new and viable ways of doing business. She urges organizations, employers, employees, and retirees to attend.
These conferences, that you would get the opportunity to realize that there is something that you can do now, whether you are at home and you are thinking of a new job, or if you are presently in a job and you're not satisfied. But I just want to implore everyone, recognize that we are still in a phase of change, but I want you to see this change as something positive. Don't only think in the box, go beyond the box. Recognize that you can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
As Barbados grapples with how to improve productivity, an expert in organizational management believes being effective is more important than being efficient. That's the view of President and CEO of the Washington Consulting Team and former Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation, Linda Washington. She was delivering the 50th anniversary leadership lecture at the Errol Barrow Center for Creative Imagination at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. The title of her presentation was Excellence in Leadership. Ms. Washington explained that effectiveness, more so than efficiency, is what drives excellence.
You can be as efficient as the Dickens at doing the wrong things. You can practice the wrong technique or the wrong moves until you have them down perfectly. Then you're going to wonder and worry about why your organization is not doing as well as it should, why your customers aren't as happy as they would like to be, as you would like them to be, and why employees are constantly working late, even though everything appears to be working like a well-oiled machine. When you visualize yourself or your organization, don't just see yourself doing things right. See yourself doing the right things right. And remember that sometimes the right thing, even if done imperfectly, can beat the heck out of a flawless performance of the wrong thing. This holds true for everyone who really cares about excellence. It's great to be efficient, but effectiveness is what you really want.
Ms. Washington also shared the characteristics of a good leader.
The essential qualities of leaders are character, self-discipline, wisdom, and willingness to serve others. Again, be responsible for lives and livelihoods. You lead by serving, and a true leader seeks to lighten the loads people carry. However, when a leader uses people to build his or her own authority instead of using that authority to build the people, the result is a divided organization, family, or community.
Well, Class 3 students of the Lawrence T. Gay Primary School will join their Class 4 counterparts at the Breath of Life Seventh-day Adventist Church on Whitehall in St. Michael. The Ministry of Education has advised parents of students of that school for all Class 3s that classes will begin again tomorrow. Parents of Classes 1, 2, and 3 students are invited to a meeting on Thursday at the Sarah Ann Gill Methodist Church, Fairfield, Black Rock at 4:30 in the evening. A subsequent announcement will be made to inform parents of reception, infants A and B, of arrangements for those classes. Veteran newspaper photographer Grantley Seeley has been laid to rest. Seeley passed away at the geriatric hospital on February 11th after battling with an illness. He was 69 years old. He worked with the Barbados Advocate for the majority of his career, but he also worked with the Nation newspaper. One of his specialties was sports, but he was also a well-known photographer with the now-defunct Weekend Investigator. Some of his former colleagues turned out at the Michael Bryan Memorial Chapel this morning in Belmont Road, St. Michael, yesterday morning in Belmont Road, St. Michael, for a ceremony officiated by Reverend Anthony Harewood. Mr. Seeley was later interred at the St. James Cemetery. May he rest in peace. A Canadian charity has made it possible for a Barbadian woman with terminal cancer to visit her homeland, as she's been given only 6 months to a year to live. Valda Allenby, who will be accompanied by her daughter, will be returning home in April. She suffers from a cancer of the blood vessels called angiosarcoma. Her cancer is located in the head. Following 3 weeks in Barbados, Allenby will also travel to see her grandchildren, great-grandchildren, friends and former colleagues in Toronto. The flights will be the Give a Mile charity's 200 and 201st since it launched in 2013. We'll have regional and international news after this break. Stay with us.